My name's Nick Lane. I am the adapter and director of Jekyll Hyde by Blackeyed Theatre.
Hi, I'm Tristan Parks. I'm the composer for Jekyll Hyde. I'm really excited about this production because I always, over the years, have massively enjoyed collaborating with Nick Lane.
Hello, my name's Naomi Gibbs. I'm the costume designer for Blackeyed Theatre's The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
This is a show that was very much made as a team, both in rehearsal and in the studio. I was often in rehearsal and then bringing all the wonderful work I'd seen in rehearsal, not just with the actors but with the set and the costume, and really trying to make it an organic piece.
I really loved working with the other creators on this show. It was my first show with Blackeyed as costume designer. I'd already worked with them before, and this was my one to prove myself.
When I adapted the book, I really wanted to explore Stevenson as much as the text. It's a fantastic story, but it's really quite short. And generally speaking, most people only know the banner headlines of the story. You know, a man curious about nature takes a potion or experiments upon himself and then turns into somebody else, somebody vile, cruel, evil.
It features quite a lot of real playing of real instruments, and also that fused with all the wonderful things you can do now with music technology. So there's a full orchestra and full percussion, very filmic, grand sounds in the show, but also some quite intricate playing and singing actually. There's an old Indian harmonium there, at least 100 years old, which is in the show.
What you get with a Blackeyed performer is you get not just amazing acting, but they can sing, they can play instruments, they're just all-round, dynamic, charismatic people.
I wanted to find a way to make a character who is similar to Robert Louis Stevenson's wife. For the last 14 years of his life, he met, married, and lived very happily with a woman called Fanny, who was an American divorcee and what was known at the time as an adventuress, meaning that she was a woman of independent means, but she was prepared to go and meet the world as an independent person. I wanted somebody who could challenge Jekyll just as Fanny in real life challenged Stevenson. You see, during that period when they were together, he wrote all of his best and most well-known works. You have Treasure Island, Kidnapped, The Bottle Imp, Jekyll Hyde, and all of those things all came from that particularly fruitful relationship with Fanny.
Something you might not be expecting, especially if you're familiar with the original text, is that it's got scintillating chemistry and romance between the characters.
I really wanted to find a way to have a character who could challenge Jekyll and inspire Jekyll. And I came up with the idea of Eleanor O'Donnell, who was the female character in the play, and the catalyst for a lot of the action within it. The big change that I made in the book, from the book rather, was to make Jekyll physically broken but mentally brilliant, whereas Hyde is the other way around. Physically he's very robust and mentally he is, quite a tortured soul and cruel and vile.
The female voice you'll hear, Arahan Galieva, a very accomplished singer who sings with Carl Jenkins, the contemporary classical composer. And also we've worked quite a lot together on various productions, so we have a very mutual collaborative relationship where she can be quite inventive with her voice and I can incorporate that. So I'm really excited to bring Arahan out on the road again, albeit virtually.
I was in a car accident and I don't move particularly well, and I thought to myself, if somebody presented me with that choice and said, if you drink this, or if you inject yourself with this, or if you take this pill, you will feel as physically well as you ever did at any point, before your car accident, whenever. But nobody will like you. Everybody will turn away from you. There'll be something about you that causes disgust and revulsion, and you'll be shunned, and you'll be aggressive, and you'll be nasty. Would I take it? Would I take the drug? Would any of us? There's a question, it's a good question. It's a question for everybody. Would we? uncork that bottle and let that genie out. And once you do, can you get that genie back? You see, my rationalisation for Jekyll's actions is we all feel that we have control over our own personalities, our own minds, our own brains. And I'm sure we'd all be, whether we wanted to or not, we'd all be arrogant enough to assume that, oh no, I'm a nice person, I could take that and feel better, and people still like me. But once you get on that particular train, once you feel the way you used to feel, once you can breathe, you can run, you can do all those other things that you can't really do very well. I certainly can't do very well anymore. Could you give that up? The rush, the heady rush of the physical life,